Okay, so in FNAF 3, we're up against the character named Springtrap, which is basically the biggest antagonist and villain in this entire thing. It's the main villain. Now, Purple Guy here, he's the reason in FNAF 1 the kids are like all evil. Like, he stuffed the dead souls of the kids in the animatronic suits after murdering them. And if you didn't know this, Purple Guy is actually one of the founders of the Five Nights at Freddy's, like the Freddy Fazbear Pizza. He's one of the creators. So he's basically killing his own customers. And eventually he decides to destroy the suits, but guess what? The souls come out of the suits and they start chasing him. So he jumps into a spring trap suit, but the spring locks kill him, and he's basically trapped in the spring trap suit for a long
Yeah,
time.
wait, so did they ever, like, say why he killed those kids?
Well, the thing is, he had his own kids, but in like other games, there's clips of his kids dying, and that just makes him like really mentally unstable.
Yeah, wait, wasn't that, like, the Bite of 87?
Yeah, that's his son,
Or,
and his
unless that
son's
was the Fox
that's the
one.
brother. No. The kid who's getting bit is actually his son. That's Purple Guy's son. You know that, right?
Yeah, okay.
And
I
you
get
know
what you're trying to
and you
say.
know like the circus baby. You know the girl like the girl that like gets murdered by circus baby or something.
Yeah, that was his daughter, wasn't it?
That's his daughter. Yeah, that's his daughter.
Yeah, alright, I understand. Yeah, I get why. He probably was, like, mentally deranged.
He was I was mentally deranged.
Okay, well, I mean, I didn't really play too much of FNAF 3. I just played the demo when I was younger, but it's like one of those games where it was, like, forcefully meant to be scary. I mean, that's really the point of it. It's literally called Fazbear's Fright. But I would rate that game, honestly, like, I'd rate it a 7.5 out of 10, honestly.
No, it wasn't that great, but it helped get the lore and the story straight.
Yeah, honestly, it was like more of a lore game. But what's even more of a lore game, FNAF 4, which I guess will be the final one we'll be talking about, since the other ones really don't matter too much, honestly, in my opinion. But so this one's way different. You're starting off as a kid, right? But this kid is actually the kid in a coma, and this was the kid that got bit in the Bite of 87, I think, right?
Just Purple Guy's son.
Bite of
yeah.
87 or 93? I forgot which one.
87.
Let's just go 87.
Bite of it. Yeah, no, it's the Bite of 87.
Okay, but you're pretty much you're a kid in the coma, and you're having like these nightmares. And as I said before, the nightmare characters, they're just like, I didn't really like them since they're like forcefully trying to be scary. Like, they're not like the first one where they were supposed to look like childhood friends, and they're like just scary on their own, or it's like Chuck E. Cheese where it's not meant to be scary, but it just is for some reason. It's just these ones, like, they're just trying way too hard to be scary. But I couldn't even get past night 2. This game was really hard.
The thing is, that game was like sound based. You had to be really careful.
Yeah, like, you had to hear breathing, all that stuff, man. But I don't have too much to say about it since, again, I didn't play too much of it. It was really scary, and it was really hard. But I would give that game, honestly, I gotta be honest, like a 5.
I hated that game. I hate the fact that like you're
And then
out of
after
your coma.
that, I just stopped paying attention to the FNAF games after that, since I was older at the time, and I just didn't like getting scared. But yeah, out of all those 4 games mentioned, what is your favorite and like your least favorite? To me,
Honestly,
go ahead.
FNAF 5 Sister Location. I know we didn't bring that up,
Yeah, I didn't really play that one either.
but like the mechanics were cool. It had enough lore backstory with, and it did have a security camera scene or like part in it,
Yeah, and honestly,
where it was similar to.
the lore in FNAF without its lore, it's just not the same, honestly. But I mean, yeah, that's really it. Honestly, for me, the first one has to be my favorite. It has a special place in my heart, honestly. It was good. Well, is that all we gotta say about FNAF, John?
Yeah.
And Rocco?
Yeah, but speaking about our favorite childhood games, let's talk about that. Philip, what's your favorite childhood game of all time? Like the game you played the most as a child that you like?
Oh man, childhood game. I mean, I played on like a Wii and a PS3 a lot when I was younger, so I got to go with. You know the game called Uncharted.
Yes.
Yes, dude, that's a childhood game. And the Wii games, you know, like the Wii Gym. When I was younger, that was dude. Those are.
See, I'm
my
very
childhood
familiar
games.
with those, but yeah.
Yeah, and also like Mario. It's all those games, honestly. Like they're not just scary games like FNAF, but yeah. What about you?
Plants vs. Zombies 1 and 2 and Garden Warfare.
Dude, Plants vs. Zombies, I'll be honest, when I was younger, I was probably like a snobby iPad kid, to be honest. Because I was...
Yeah, I played iPad all the time.
I remember my iPad when I was younger, dude. I found it one time, it was like a tablet, one time in the closet, and it was like, it was old, decrepit and everything. I could tell I was probably an annoying kid. But... yeah, I for sure played Plants vs. Zombies. A lot of like mobile games really filled up my childhood, honestly.
Yeah, most tower defense games. The sad part is PvZ2 didn't really receive any updates after like 2016 because it's owned by PopCap and Electronic Arts, and you know how Electronic Arts is like a cash grab snob or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And PvZ2 is extremely difficult. Like, little kid, I mean, it's meant for little kids, but in terms of difficulty, a little kid cannot do it. But I managed to beat every single adventure level, and I had fun doing it, even if it took me a couple of tries.
That's good. Yeah, dude. Like these games, I mean, are most of them still popular? Like these childhood games, like mentioned, or in
Not
like some
really.
not mentioned either.
Like Bloons TD Battles.
yeah, dude, Bloons TD Battles, dude. Oh my gosh, my brother would always play it, and I'd always watch him. It was cool. But like, do people still play Wii's? Like, do they still play on Wii's nowadays?
I don't think so anymore. It's a really old console, except if you want to play a Mario game.
Yeah, dude. Back in like 4th grade, I'd always have these, I'd always be on the Chromebook, and I'd always be in like all the way in the back, playing on unblocked games, and I'd always play Super Mario Flash, and like, what's that one boxing game with Lil Mac? You know who I'm talking about? Punch Out. Yeah, Punch Out with Mike Tyson. I'd always play it while I should have been doing my history stuff. But it was alright, honestly. The teacher was chill about it. She didn't care. It was cool. Like those little memories, man. It really warms me up when I remember all of it. It's cool. But yeah, not childhood games, but like games you've played recently that like, well, I wouldn't say recently, maybe like games that you've played that are like you really like Roblox or any other old games, or like Mortal Kombat. Like, I wouldn't really call Mortal Kombat as a childhood game, but it's like a game that I have like lots of nostalgia for.
Well, a game I have a lot of nostalgia for is this first-person shooter game made by Valve called Team Fortress 2. No, I remember
Honestly,
seeing so many SFMs and like, the first time I got into TF2 was at like, well, some random kid's house. I don't even know. It was like one of my mom's co-workers' friends or something, and he took me to his laptop and he let me play on his computer.
honestly,
And I saw TF2 was installed, so I clicked on that, and I had a blast, even though I was terrible at it. Although I was crying pretty hard when Spy kept killing me over and over again. I was like saying how much I hate Spy and all that stuff. And that kid was nice enough to tell me, play Pyro, he's a really good counter to Spy, so...
Yeah, you still talk to that kid?
A little bit, but he moved away.
Oh. Well, honestly, Team Fortress 2 also has like a huge... It's a huge piece of me. I started playing, or actually no, I got Steam back in 2014 when I had my first really bad laptop, which is like a hand-me-down from like, I don't know, it was like 2007. It was a really old laptop, and it was when I first got Steam. Team Fortress 2 was the first ever game I ever got on Steam, and I'm always gonna remember it. And as you said before, the SFMs really, I feel like TF2 wouldn't be as popular without them. But yeah, my favorite class was the soldier. Had to be the soldier.
My favorite class was the scout.
I had like a ton of unusuals. I was like a big trader back in the day. No, actually, no, I wasn't the trader, but my brother was the trader. And I'm kind of glad I had an older brother, since most of this stuff, like Five Nights at Freddy's and all this stuff, I wouldn't have known without it. It's cool.
Honestly, my favorite part of TF2 was the bonk atomic punch that Scout drank. Combined with the Force of Nature and the Sandman, I was unstoppable.
Yeah,
those are good days.
Dude, you know the Man vs. Machine?
Yes, I remember
Oh my
that.
gosh, dude, it was fun meeting with the random people. I mean, granted, they were kind of mean, because I would use my mic when I was like 10 years old, and I sounded way squeakier than this, so it was really bad. And like, another nostalgic game would be like, you ever play CSGO?
Nah, I never really got into that game. That game was filled with Russians.
Yeah, well, that game, I mean, any first-person shooter, honestly, it was...
You get toxic.
Yeah, it gets really toxic, but it's kind of fun. But, yeah, you got anything else to say about that? About, like, nostalgic games when you were, like, younger, all those games. Like, you ever play on those games like Armored, it's like a website called Armor Games, or Arms Combat.
Is it like
Arms or
some
something
random
like
unblocked site or something?
it's not really an unblocked site. It's just like a site with like games. Armor Shield or something like that. I forgot, dude. It's been a long time. I don't even know if the site's still up at this point. But yeah, I remember that game. I'd always play it on my grandma's laptop, and I would always lag. The lag.
Well, another nostalgic game for me is Roblox, but I'm talking about old Roblox when there used to be guests. I remember playing Roblox on my iPad and just signing in as a guest and playing all the Roller Coaster Tycoons or all the roller coaster games.
Yeah, I get what you mean. On my other account, I had Roblox when I got it when 2016, January 30th, when I checked the date, 2016. I forgot the first game I played. I think I played like Five Nights at Freddy's on Roblox or something like that.
Well,
like I had guests and it was cool.
I mean, I didn't officially make an account until 2016 when so many people just kept convincing me to get the game, and I eventually just got the game.
Yeah, I know. But
So,
one of my little cousins was a guest, and my guests weren't allowed to speak or anything, so I felt kind of bad. Because like people would always make fun of guests, but they would never see it. And like, what are some nostalgic games on Roblox that you played? So it's like, for me,
there's this Pokemon Go game. I remember like
Pokemon
Pokemon
Brick
Go when it
Bronze.
first came
Yeah.
out. No,
Yeah.
Pokemon Brick Bronze got taken down by
Yeah, I know.
Nintendo.
I like that game. I felt so bad when it got taken down.
No, another nostalgic game is like Pokemon Go, because I remember I asked my parents, can I get Pokemon Go? And my parents said no, because they saw like on the news some guy got into a truck crash because he was playing Pokemon Go when he wasn't supposed to. He was supposed to be driving or something.
Yeah.
But
That,
back then I used to be like overweight, and my parents eventually prospered because Pokemon Go was actually a really good source of exercise.
Yeah. I mean, some people play today. Like, one of my buddies named Jackson plays it, and like it doesn't seem that active, but I guess it is really active still. People still have that game.
Wasn't as popular as it used to be, but
Yeah,
it was per
dude, it was like
back then.
a nation.
Legendary
association.
Pokemons weren't even a thing. Like they only had Gen 1 Pokemon, but they have every single Pokemon now.
Yeah, but for me, I gotta say like, work at pizza place, stop at Slender.
What about survive natural disasters?
Oh yeah, that for sure as well. It was a really fun game. But I just couldn't play on mobile. It was so hard. I didn't know how. Or, I mean, not like I didn't know how, but it was like it was kind of difficult. But I was chilling at it, honestly. But like these games, dude, I'm so happy that I had a computer when I was young, because they made up a lot of like most of my childhood. These games, like I also played lots of Madden when I was younger, but like the really old Madden on the PS like 3. I think like Madden '09. It's a football game. But yeah, it was super chill. Man, I don't know why I just did that, but yeah, those are some of my nostalgic games. I've been playing games for a long time, if you guys can tell. And yeah, you got anything else to say, Rocco?
No,
That's cool.
these games made our childhood, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, it sucks that most of them are mostly dead or don't receive updates anymore.
Or most of these games, like even when we play them, they don't hit the same as they used to.
Yeah, honestly. Like, CSGO doesn't hit the same. Like, I remember I was obsessed with that game. I have, like, over 1,000 hours on it, along with TF2 as well. I have almost 2,000 hours on TF2. But it doesn't hit the same anymore like it used to. But it was chill. And also the hackers in TF2. That really ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another nostalgic game I kind of want to say is OG Fortnite, but that came out like way later. Like original Fortnite.
I remember
That was fun.
back in 6th grade, kids
No,
were so
5th grade.
obsessed with Fortnite. 5th
No, it was
grade or
5th
6th
grade.
grade. And one of my buddies, you remember Abdul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a hacker, and he would always like hack accounts, and it was crazy.
Oh, another nostalgic game is Clash of Clans and Clash Royale.
Dude, I still play Clash Royale, honestly. That's a game that does, I mean, it doesn't like hit the same, but it's not bad, honestly, Clash Royale.
Clash of Clans.
In Clash of Clans, dude, my uncle was like a clan leader, and he'd always tell us to get on for clan wars.
Yes. And by the way, can someone donate me like some barbarians, please? And hog riders.
Yeah.
Well, I think I have like max level hog riders, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, dude, I was never that good at Clash Royale. I mean, Clash of Clans. I never had strategy when I was playing that game. And my little kid brain would always just spam all my troops in one spot. Oh wait, have you ever played Boom Beach before?
Yes.
Dude, I wish that game still received updates. But back in the day, I'd always play that game. But yeah, honestly, those games. That's all I gotta say about those games. Just great. What about some games that you didn't like? Like games that you actually don't like right now.
Oh,
Like it doesn't have to be a nostalgia game, just in general.
Valorant.
You know, so, a lot of people like Valorant, but I just can't get into it.
Yeah, I just can't get into it. Alright, so our next and final topic. Well, it's not really funny, but it's a serious topic I think we all need to address that's been happening to us lately, or just in general, to us Americans, and that is school shootings and should guns be banned?
Yeah.
And to answer that question, personally, no. And here's why. Guns are just part of a right, like they're an amendment. You can't ban guns. However, what you can do is improve the safety of schools and stuff. So,
Well, I mean, think of ways where you could like improve school safety. Like I know some people say you should give teachers guns. What do you think about that?
it's a little too far, you know. I could go like haywire very fast.
Yeah, like if a kid like gets a hold of them, gets a hold of the gun. But like, what are ways you could probably keep the school safe and ways that some school shootings could have been like prevented?
Instead of like having open ass gates and letting people on the campus, they have to go through like a locked gate with an office and stuff. Also, some schools have been like recruiting, like we're hiring resource officers, armed resource officers.
Yeah, but like I've seen that before. Like schools just like they have their gates open. Our elementary school and this high school I live right next to, the gate is like it's open to a whole neighborhood. It's just left open for the whole day, so anyone could just walk in and walk out. It was like it was super dangerous, and like they gotta like get that protection up. Since if anyone could walk into the school, then that's just that's bad. And like some schools are like open up to the front, so like if a shooter could just like break a window to get in, they gotta fix that as well. Honestly, but I mean like some school shootings that could have been prevented, or at least better how do I say this, like not prevented, but like you know the Uvalde
Yeah.
shooting, that could
Yeah,
have been like better.
you know how like the dealt with like the cops.
Yeah, better dealt with.
Some of the cops, like one of the cops went on their phones. They weren't really approaching the guy. They're just
Yeah.
like waiting.
So what I'm trying to say is there should be like better police protocol for this type of stuff. Since I don't feel like there's enough, and it happens way too often. Like
Yeah.
I mean, not like school threats in general happen way too often. Like whether it's joking or not, it's my brother.
You can't joke about that stuff. It's just too much of a like issue or threat.
Yeah,
People are
like,
gonna take it seriously every time.
like my brother had a school threat from when he was in high school. It was really bad. It was like someone threatened to come to the school and like kill people there. It was a serious situation, honestly.
Fortunately, like a good majority of the threats are like just threats. They won't actually go out and do it. Although they'll still get in a lot of trouble with the police. Like
Honestly,
it's a good
yeah,
thing
you should
don't
get
actually-
jailed for
You
putting
can't.
those
You
threats
just
out.
simply can't joke about that stuff.
Yeah, honestly. I feel like, and a big topic people say is that assault rifles shouldn't be purchasable. What do you think about that?
No, I'd honestly just super controversial. Like weapons of war should not be like allowed for purchase from civilians.
Yeah, like some people say
And you know
that-
what? I think I can kind of agree because you don't need a big ass assault rifle for self defense or for any reason unless you're like
honestly,
part of some like it's part of your job to have one.
yeah, honestly, I agree.
All you
with
need
that
is a
as
small
well.
handgun to defend yourself. Like you don't need a big rifle if you
I
were
mean,
to
like-
purchase a gun.
Yeah, you could get a semi-automatic rifle, but you don't need like a whole like automatic AR M14 or not M14 M16 rifle, military grade. Like you don't need that as a civilian.
Thing is, like the caliber of those guns, like they're so thick, it's enough to go through certain walls.
Yeah, I know.
No.
And like it's so easy to have an accident like with guns. Like what's a way you think it's like some gun things can get prevented? Since I know in like I think Canada, I don't know if this is the right country.
You know what?
I don't know
I
if this
think
is the right
America
country.
needs to tone down on their like bullying and stuff. Like, I know that furry like emo girls cringe and shit, but I don't really think you should be going out of your way to be intentionally addicted to her because it's not hurting anyone at the end of the day. It's just you're weird for doing that, but it's not hurting anyone. It's just like weird, but they're
Yeah.
they're minding their own business. They're not hurting anyone. So like, just leave them alone. Like, don't bully kids at school. Just leave everyone alone. Like, just be
Yeah.
chill. Like,
But
it's,
as I was saying before about the Canada thing, they're like you're allowed to own a gun, but you have to keep it locked and you have to keep the magazine or the clip in another room, which I mean, does that really make the gun useful at that point? Like if there's an intruder in your house, you got to go to another room to get the mag.
I think it's just in another safe or something, and that's only if you have a child in the room. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and all the guns always
Like
gotta be
in your
child locked
house.
in your house. You can't like open carry. You need like a permit to open carry.
I don't even think you were allowed to have guns and children. Like, if you have a gun, you can't have a child or something. I don't know. It's just weird.
Or if you're like a felon.
Yeah, if you're a felon, no, it depends on the type of. If you're like assault or murder or fucking, like you shouldn't have a gun. But if it's just like a simple like crime of like I don't know, copyright or truancy, no.
And going back to what you said about the bullet types, I think there's like this one bullet. It's like a shotgun slug shell or something. It destroys anything.
bird shell?
Like a 10-meter radius. It destroys it pretty much. Or like they're like some shells that are like rigid and like jagged. They're not like a regular like shell. It's crazy. And it's crazy that like a civilian can just own all of that. Like I'm not saying get rid of guns. Like you don't get to own a gun. I'm saying like just tone down on it. Like what you said. Like some guns should be allowed.
I think like rifles and like machine guns should be banned, or SMGs, but
Yeah.
pistols and shotguns should be allowed.
And like in most of these like countries and states, like in Texas, you could literally just own a gun by being 18 and walking into a store. Like there's no background checks or anything. I mean, granted, it's gotta be only the purpose has to be for hunting. But like, if you can own a long gun just by being 18, and it's crazy. And like, it's so easy to get one.
No. The age-old question is, when you grow old enough, which is actually not that far from your age, are you gonna like buy a gun?
Honestly, I might. Honestly,
I want to buy a gun too. It's part of a right, and I am a huge advocate of gun safety. You know,
yeah.
like
Like I own airsoft guns, and I treat them like real guns. Honestly, since you could easily just lose the
you can
eye.
still do damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You have airsoft guns. You own any airsoft guns?
No.
Dude, I own like 6 airsoft guns. Like rifle and all.
Honestly, I never had enough money for that type of hobby. It's really expensive,
Well, I
but
mean,
it's really
not-
fun.
I mean, it's only expensive for like the really good ones, but like for the cheap ones, it's not that expensive. And in some countries, it's illegal to own airsoft guns. Can you believe that? Airsoft
Yeah.
is illegal in some countries.
Some people have resorted to making their own homemade guns, which is completely legal in every way. Like,
Well, actually, like
well,
in places
I don't
like
know.
in places like Tokyo, or I mean Japan, I mean, so you know the prime minister that got like assassinated in Japan a couple years
Yeah.
back. Yeah, someone made like a homemade gun, so it's like even with all of the like you ban guns, people are still gonna get them, or the bad people are still gonna find a way to get them, and the good people don't have access to them. So it's like banning guns isn't gonna solve anything.
Yeah, true. Just hope our current state, you know, there's nothing really much we can do about this law. Like, everyone's separated on this subject, like pro-gun, like anti-gun. Like, I'm trying to be like neutral and like trying to stay in the middle, but
Yeah,
you know, it's just the person, the individual, how you react to it and stuff.
isn't
like,
it like every 2 in 6 Americans own a gun, or
I
4 out
I
of
don't
6
know.
Americans?
I don't know. Also, like, in case you, and I'm pretty sure like a good amount of kids don't know what to do if like they're actually getting attacked by someone with a gun in the classroom. They don't know like what run, hide, fight is and all that stuff.
I'm gonna be honest. At my high school, they don't tell us like
We don't.
school shooting protocol, or like we don't actually practice that. Does your high school like teach you
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we have these drills all the time.
Dude, we haven't had one drill. Like they tell us what we're supposed to do, but like we've never actually like had one of these drills. Like we've had fire drills and like earthquake drills, but that's really it. Like nothing to do with there's a school shooter. And speaking of school shooter drills, like they say hide like against the wall. Well, what do you think about that? Or like
No, it depends on the wall. Like, if
like
it's
should
like
they
a,
like should they like make these
no,
like,
the
treat
best
it better?
option would to like be like lie completely down, like on the ground on your stomach, because like it's
Honestly,
probably gonna be running down the hallways trying to shoot through like the walls trying to get to you. It depends on like the what type of classroom you're in and like the what the walls are made out of. I'm talking about like soft drywall. You can like easily
yeah,
kill
honestly,
shoot
in
someone through that.
my Spanish class, the walls are like paper thin. Like you could literally hear like the classroom next door if you're against the wall. It's like
So just lay down.
yeah, lay down and like the windows in our school they aren't like actual windows. Like you can't open them. So it's
You
like,
know, if you're outdoors and like the shooter is shooting at you, like try to move zigzag. It's hard to like if you're moving weirdly and unpredictably, like they're still human. It's gonna be hard to shoot them.
or what about
Well-
like
The fight part,
like yeah, like the fight part, like fighting back, or like what are students supposed to do? What would you
Man.
if like you had like an idea what students should
No,
do
you
to
go
fight back,
all
what would you
out.
do?
Like you do whatever it takes for you to like survive or to at least like minimize
I
harm
mean,
to yourself.
this was
Now, most students are gonna be together, like which gives you an advantage in numbers. If
I
you guys
mean-
can find a way to like,
it's just like it's easier said than done to fight back. Honestly, like a regular person would easily be scared from it, and honestly, I would too. Like there's no judgment at all.
yeah, it's
Um,
just no fear.
But like, I mean, it's crazy that this stuff happens, and it's not a daily occurrence. I mean, it probably is, but like, it's like, have there been ways to prevent this from like the government? Have they like took
Government
action?
can't do anything because there's just too many civilians that are just debating on this. Everyone is so one-sided.
Yeah, honestly, I like the middle ground. You're able to
Yeah,
own
the
guns.
middle ground.
You're allowed to own guns, but owning like a huge rifle shouldn't be allowed. Or owning like
It's just
Only
why
like a
would you need a
machine
big
gun
ass
should be
rifle?
allowed. Yeah.
I don't understand.
it's
Like,
honestly it's just for looks to own a big rifle. You don't need one. It's just
yeah, you just need like a small handgun or like
Yeah.
a shotgun.
yeah. But like I don't have too much to say about this topic since I don't really think about it that much, but if you have like anything else to say about it, you can just get it all out now since we're probably not going to talk about this
You know what?
again.
Just use your strength in numbers, or don't be afraid to possibly kill or severely injure the shooter. It's
Yeah,
your life. Or
Wait, a couple weeks ago, wasn't there like a shooter that tried to like shoot these people up in it was like during Lunar New Year.
No, it's not even. It's not even during schools. It's just in general, like everywhere. Everyone is armed.
Yeah, honestly, and it happens a lot at movie theaters. If you were at a movie theater and like a shooter came in, what are you supposed to do? There's like nowhere to run.
Honestly, you're pretty fucked in that situation.
Yeah, there's nowhere really to run, so it's like it's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like open carry should be more allowed for like, because I haven't heard of one incident where someone had like a weapon on them and like they defended themselves against like a shooter. So I know, as I said earlier, it's like a permit to be open carry, but they should make it like more accessible for like civilians. Yeah, it's a crazy topic, but it should really be talked upon, honestly. And like a lot of people would agree with us, honestly, and maybe disagree with us. But
Yeah.
It's okay. And
Guns
honestly,
are
go ahead.
most normal people like use guns for self-defense and like just going to the range. I think that's what you should use them for. It's nice. It's a good thing to have,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, I mean, that's all I gotta say. Honestly,
Yeah.
they should honestly do more background checks on them. Like, not like heavy background checks where it's impossible to get a gun. Just like, don't just give it to like an 18-year-old, since so many problems could occur from that. Like, just at least get the name down, or like check if they have like a criminal record or anything.
Or like a mental problem, or like
Yeah.
you need to contact the parents or school. Like, have they gotten bullied or like?
Honestly, yeah. Even check if like how like the person purchasing the gun is mentally. So that's a huge factor. So like they could use it on themselves or use it on other people. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that.
All I gotta say, yeah.
Well, let's get the conclusion on it. So of course this podcast wasn't like, the topics were kind of goofy and on the other end kind of serious at the same time. But what we're trying to get through is like, just be good people. Honestly, be a good person. Treat others with like respect. Just respect everyone. Honestly, even if they're treating you badly, just respect them. You don't know what
Yeah,
they're
just
going
leave everyone alone. Don't go out of your way to be a dick to anyone.
through.
Have good morals.
Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. And like, just like, if you ever have a kid one day, man, you just gotta, you can't be like too harsh on them, since that's most of these shooters. That's like how they are when like they're coming up as a kid. They had a bad childhood, so it's easily preventable. Just make sure they're around a good crowd, and yeah, that's really all I gotta say for the PJ Podcast episode 2. Is that it, Rock? You got anything else to
Yep.
say?
Nope.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.